Let's welcome on stage Joshua, Jake and Alex.
Right, how are we all doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing very well. What I initially had planned of this video was actually like a video going through my peak week, filming a little bit more than I ended up actually filming, and then filming a bit on show day. Long story short, I recorded a little bit. I think there's like for maybe 15 minutes of footage across the week, but it's a bit meh. I'm going to put it in just so you can have a bit of an update in regards to how the sort of peak went, because I feel like that's probably quite important. And it goes from, I think, I want to say Monday. I want to say like 6 days out to a day out. But it's a bit like, I want it a bit more in depth, but I still think it's important, so I'm going to put it in. So what you'll now see is the peak week, kind of, a little bit, and me just chatting about how things have sort of been, photos, etc. throughout the week. And that'll be now. And then I'll come back in a little bit and we'll chat about how Sunday went, which is quite cool. I'm very happy. So it's now 4 days out. So it's Wednesday, first day of like a full sort of carb load. I'm going to try and get my Instagram up just because then I can basically talk through how the sort of day went. But yeah, yesterday was sound. It was just a very sort of busy day. I didn't realise how much I actually had on a Tuesday when it comes to like workload. So obviously that was sorting all that out. It was then sorting foods out, all that sort of jazz anyway. And when it comes to food, pretty sound. I will put up my visuals from yesterday morning. Yesterday was like a rest day, baseline rest day. Well, the baseline rest day just was a rest day. We actually had a new low of 180.25 pounds. So that's about 81.9 kilos or so. And we put in 360-ish gram of carbs, because obviously the fat load we pulled back very slightly because digestion wasn't really in a good position. So therefore we just wanted to make sure we keep the load of carbohydrates that we're doing pretty much the same as PCA, because it was a good look in terms of fullness, but just stretch that over a bit longer and just play it a bit safer. So that was the goal. But no, really happy with the shots from yesterday, man. Like by far the best I've looked, the sharpest I've ever been. Like it's almost get to the point where I'm like, I'm actually quite impressed with what I've done. It's quite cool. So yeah, I'm really happy. And yesterday was sound. It was a case of first meal was just normal. How it was like eggs, turkey, bacon. Second meal was just like 35 grams of cream of rice, and then actually normal sort of relatively high carbohydrates meal towards the latter end of the day. So things like, it was like a Frosties meal, bagel thins, and then another cream of rice meal to end the day. Pretty sound. I'll put like the macros. I don't have the macros, didn't put them on my Instagram. Basically, it was 360 gram of carbs, and it was pretty sound. And then this morning, woke up, I think I was 81.5, so like 1.25 pound, which I'm not like surprised about, to be fair. Obviously I had more food, but then I'm also like, that was a new low, so I'm not really too stressed. I don't know why I would be. Like I look already a little bit fuller anyway. And obviously here's some photos from today's check-in. So what we are doing is obviously actually loading through today. So today I've got my final push pump session, which I'm about to have my pre-workout meal in about 5 minutes or so. So what I'll do is, obviously you would have seen some visuals from this morning. I'll now put up some visuals from post-workout today, which I'm hopefully going to be really happy with how I look. And this is going to be, if I'm happy with the look or not, it'll be a yes or a no. Food for today, macros for today are 187 grams. 180, have I said that right? 187, Jesus Christ. 187 grams of protein, 44 grams of fat, 559 grams of carbohydrates, which brings the totals to 3,380 calories. Meal 1, 2 eggs, 3 turkey bacon rashers, 4 bagel thins. So just slightly putting down on the turkey bacon rashers, just pulled down on protein. 2 bagel thins are in. I have bagel thins as opposed to bagels just because with my digestion, I want to be chewing my food for a bit longer. Yes, it's obviously more food volume, and that's actually not the reason why I want it. It's just because it takes longer to eat, so therefore my digestion's better. And also just really food focused. Pre-workout meal, which I'm about to have, is 40 grams of whey, 150 grams of cream of rice, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 100 grams of blueberries. Intra is 30 grams of carb drive with 3 grams of creatine, the same process for the first peak. 2 grams of creatine with each meal, 3 grams of my intra. Post-workout meal, 30 grams of whey, 175 grams of Frosties, 100 grams of blueberries, 1 Squares bar. Meal 4 is the exact same as what meal 4 was yesterday, because I know that, because I remembered it. 150 grams of chicken, 100 grams of veg, 30 grams of jam, 2 bagel thins, 30 grams of dates. Have you said that right? Pretty sure. Yeah, that's that. Meal 5, 40 grams of whey, 200 grams of blueberries, 20 grams of almond butter, 100 grams of cream of rice. Sodium and water staying the same, so that's 9 litres of fluid. 15 grams of sodium, which I spread out evenly throughout the day. Steps at 10,000. And yeah, we are 4 days out. 4 days until, and I quote what I said, the youngest, most likely, never know, and probably the smallest on a classic bodybuilding stage. Right, good evening. It is now 3 days out from the next show. Currently got 1 meal left of the carb load, which was, it's the exact same like foods as we ran for essentially this time 2 weeks ago. So 187 protein, 49 fat, 707 carb, 3,981 calories. Food's exactly the same. We know what sits well, we know what digests well, so therefore no need to make any changes. Bosh. Visuals from this morning I will put up a little bit fuller. Body weight went up to 183 on the dot. There's still plenty of room to fill, which is sound. So plan for today was literally just a pull pump session, which went well, but they're just boring, aren't they? Like whenever I have like carb food, whenever I have carbs in, so if it's like a refeed or if it's like a carb load into a show, my mind always, because I feel more normal, my mind's always like, I want to train normally. So yeah, it's a bit annoying because I'm always like driving to the gym and I'm like, a song comes on that I'd listen to for like a top set and I'm like, no Josh, you fucking can't train properly, you have to fucking train RAR like a bitch. But no, session was sound. It was literally just a case of just move a bit of blood around. Usual session, but literally like nothing below 10 reps, no progressions, 3 to 4 IR on literally everything, just getting a bit of a pump. So yeah, literally just a case now of chilling the fuck out. I've got to I've got to try and get uploaded the next episode of Bodybuilding and Beanies, and it's coming on 15.4%, and it's been on that it's been loading for the last hour. So that's absolutely fantastic. That's fucking brilliant. And I still haven't exported it from CapCut. I then got uploaded to Spotify and YouTube. So that's brilliant, isn't it? Lovely. But no, that'll be up way before this video is. And yeah, sound. So I will try and film a little bit more tomorrow, because obviously tomorrow we're going to be taking things meal by meal. So basing each meal based on how my visuals are, and then going from there. So yeah, aside from that, I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye. How are you all doing? We are now less than 2 days out, and the tash is on. I'm actually not fully against it. I don't think it's that bad. If you don't mind, I am getting my Instagram app so I can let you know how today's been. But yeah, essentially we continued loading. Not regressively, like it's a relatively similar load today and yesterday to last week. However, obviously we were loading Wednesday fully, we weren't loading Wednesday fully 2 weeks ago, and we had the little bit of carbs come in on Tuesday. We've still got food to go in tomorrow, so we're probably looking at collectively across like the whole week about 2,500 grams of carbs, which is pretty cool. Essentially, we want to bring as full of a physique as we possibly can do, because I'm going to be up against most likely some big boys. So today was essentially a bagel protocol. Obviously, with my digestion being something which you play very close knit with, we literally just run foods which digest perfectly fine, as you should do. And that leaves me with about 2 to 3 possible carbohydrate sources, possible like bulk carbohydrate sources. That being bagels / bagel thins, cereals, and cream of rice. However, today we take things meal by meal, as we have done 2 weeks ago, and we will do 2 weeks from now, and then we will do for any future shows, which I think is working really, really well. And it's a lot more sort of on point. You're paying a lot more sort of attention to detail in terms of like how the visuals are when you check in meal by meal. So essentially, like, to be fair, like my meals haven't really changed. Like the macros have been relatively similar across the day, but it's just making sure that there's no sort of issues in sense of like right now we're beginning to spill, or right we're actually running pretty flat. Like everything's been generally pretty sound throughout the day. So meal 1 was exactly the same as it was yesterday. So that was 1 egg, 2 turkey bacons, 4 bagel thins, 100-gram blueberries, and 1 squares bar. As usual, I will have meals by here, or wherever really. To be fair, I'm on the left, so do it by here. Meal 2 was 20 grams of whey, 100 grams of cereal, 100 grams of fruit, 30 grams of jam. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm literally looking at it here. 200 mils of almond milk. I'm quite surprised at the almond milk, to be honest. Like, it doesn't really make a difference. I just have water anyway. Then meal 3, meal 4, meal 5 were all pretty much exactly the same. It was 20 grams of whey, 4 bagel thins, 30 grams of jam, 100 grams of fruit. With meal 4, there was 25 dark chocolate. With meal 5, there was 25 grams of almond butter. So today's totals were 187 grams of protein, 727 grams of carbs, and then 61 grams of fat, which totaled out actually less than last time because protein was a little bit higher, through like bagels probably. And fats was a bit lower. Obviously, cream of rice, we can digest that pretty well as well. But this is where I'm a bit fussy. I don't like hot cream of rice. And if you're going to be making cream of rice meal by meal, it's probably going to be hot, and it pisses me off. It doesn't piss me off. My digestion's absolutely fine with it. I just don't like it. So yeah, 4 meals of bagels. So what? 16 bagel thins across the day for today. Sound cool. And then collectively so far this week we've had 2,350 grams of carbs. Sick. So we're going to be hopefully, well not hopefully, we are going to be pretty damn full on Sunday morning, with obviously most likely it's probably going to be 20 grams of whey, 4 bagel thins, 30 grams of jam, 100 grams of fruit, and a fat sauce tomorrow morning. And then it is a case of just drying off. See, I'll throw some visuals up in terms of like, I'll probably do how I looked in the morning here, and then how I look after my 4th meal, just before my last meal here. Pretty full. Tash is on. I'm gonna keep it. Fuck it. Go hard or go home, basically. But yeah, I will chat to you probably tomorrow when I'm at the Airbnb. And we'll go from there, basically. We'll go from there. Tan acquired. The stash remained. It made it through the anxiety of me stressing if I was going to look fucking embarrassing with it on. But no, today has been pretty sound. I haven't filmed much because I'm fucking lazy. But it was a simple case of running a very similar approach to what we did 2 weeks ago. So the first meal was with carbs in about 150 carb, and then it was just drying off for the rest of the day, so protein and fat sort of meals for the rest of the day. And yeah, time is pretty sound. I'm literally just about to head to bed. Visuals are pretty cool. I'll wax them up here. And this will either be the end of the video, depends how much I can record tomorrow. If I can't record too much tomorrow and there's like a few updates, then it'll just be one video. If not, this has been a pretty meh peak week video, so I'll probably won't put it up. Probably just record tomorrow. Okay, so at least now you kind of know how the sort of peak week went. Enjoy. So yeah, about 2,500 carb put in across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, which is quite cool. So woke up bursting full as a house, dry to the bone, which you will see right here. Yeah, and then we said that we're gonna do PCA Midlands. So yeah, the photos that Tim put up, I don't know if I got them. I do. So I've got more than obviously what Tim put up. So I'll run through them now. I was genuinely like blown away with the look. Like, I've never had that much detail through my body. I've never had that much fullness through my body. It was just like a perfect sort of balance. Yeah, so I was absolutely gassed. Well, as I'm going through, you'll probably just be able to go through as well. So what we did first thing in the morning, so this was about 6:30, was 1 serving of a non-Conte Sports affiliated product which promotes diuresis. 1 tablet of caffeine on it. What was it? 3 caffeine tablets, so 150 milligrams of caffeine, like minimal water. Actually, I don't think I had any water. I think I just like dried it, and that was sound. And then it was 120 grams of chicken. So that was all good. Again, just to dry off a little bit more prior to putting in food. Then headed off for my tan, which is about 8:15, and then got to the venue. My registration, I think, was like 10ish. But then before that, we just literally chilled out at like a Starbucks, and then had my first sort of feed of the day, which was 80 grams of chicken, 3 squares, 6 grams of jam, 2 grams of salt, 200 mils of fluid, a double espresso, again, just a bit more caffeine to promote diuresis, and 20 grams of dark chocolate, which was cool. And then with that, we had some fantastic oral supplements, which was what I usually have. It was Superdrol, Winstrol, and Anavar. 25 milligrams of all 3. I then got Tim a coffee, which is probably the best one they have there, which is the creme brulee oat shaken espresso. That or the vanilla, absolutely goated. Then got some photos with my tan, with like my top coat of tan, which was ridiculous. Like, I was so fucking happy. We'll try and get them up. Like, there was a few, and I put them on my Instagram story, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, we started like filling even more. Then registered, then had another feed of food. So that was 2 squares, I think 40 jam, another 2 grams of salt. I think that was it. Maybe another 20 grams dark chocolate. So that was the last technically feed. But then in my pre-stage like pump up drink, it was Carb Drive, Mega Pump, Josh 10, honey, salt, and then we had a bit more, but literally the exact same orals that went in. And yeah, it was sound. And you obviously know by now, I came second in a lineup of 15 people. I was the second youngest on stage. And I'm kind of like lost for words, because I didn't expect it. I went into the show wanting a first call out, because it's the biggest regional show of the year, and I got that, and I genuinely thought I fucked it. So I was pumping up backstage and my heart rate was genuinely through the roof. I could see my heart beating through my chest. And I wasn't nervous, so I was like shitting myself now. And I was trying to pose and I couldn't hold a vacuum for longer than like 3-4 seconds. And I was like, fuck. And then they bring everyone out. And because it was such a large class, usually I think they do like a numerical call out, push everyone to the back, do the first call out. What they actually did was they had everyone in obviously the numerical call out. They then split it down the middle, and then they did this. And then they did another full round. So I remember I was dead in the middle for the numerical call out. So I get moved right to the end. And I do go into my quarter turn, and I genuinely say out loud, fuck me, I'm shagged. I was absolutely fucked. And I was like thinking, you fucked it. Your posing's off. You've messed this up. You messed this up. Whatever. Like, you look really good and you fucked it. Blah, blah, blah. I was just stressing. Turns out I didn't fuck it. So they push everyone to the back. And then they call the first call out. And I'm number 28. So I think there's like a fair few people ahead of me that got called out. And it goes like 25. I don't know the exact number, so I've probably got this wrong. 25, 26. 27, and I'm like, just say my name, just don't say my name, just say my number. They say 28, and I was like, fuck yes, get it. I was so happy. I'll overlay a clip now. It's not the best quality, my dad filmed it, but you can literally see me go like, fucking come on then. Get put into obviously the American call out. I was still relatively close to it. I wasn't dead in the center. I was like a little bit to the right if you're watching it. And then start going through a round. They then move me to basically the same position, just on the left. So I'm thinking, okay, I've got a top 5, maybe. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. I was really happy. And then they call my number again. And again, I'm going to overlay a clip of this because it's in the same video. I'll probably mute the audio just so I can still speak over it. So what you'll see from now is as they call. So they call my number 28 first, and they call the other number. And I'm thinking, they've moved me to the side. You fucked it, Josh. Your posing was good, but your breathing control was shit. And that was the main thing we need to improve on. So I was like, fuck. Then I see where they've moved me to. And it's not the middle, because the middle, no one was there. It was someone here, and then someone here. They moved me here. And I was like, I literally like start clapping my hands, and I was like, right, fucking wake up now. So I think from then my posing was absolutely fine. And I'd like, when I then hit a pose, like my whole like muscles, my body just hardened up. Not my whole body, obviously, but the muscles, what I'm trying to hardened up. And it was sound, and it was good. And I was genuinely so fucking happy, because like the people who were on stage, like the lineup wasn't poor. The lineup was a very, very good class. Like out of the 15 people that were on stage, I think top 8 got invited to finals, and usually it's like a top 6. So I was genuinely gassed. I was fucking gassed. Like I went on stage about midday. I come off stage after all these call outs at 12:15. So it was 15 minutes of just constant posing. So I was absolutely shagged. And in all capitals, I'm texting Tim, because they didn't even just put us to the side of the stage because it was so big, so they need to do routines. They put everyone back into the holding room. So I'm literally texting Tim, oh my fucking God, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Mate, I'm lost for words. Then it was about another 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, about say 10 to 15 minutes before I even go and do my routine. And people said like I looked harder, fuller, even more so when I did my routine. Did you pump up more? I probably could have pumped up more. I just chilled out. I just spoke to people backstage, and everyone was really, really sound. Everyone was really nice. But yeah, did my routine, which you will see now. To be fair, I just said now, I will, like I did for the first video, I'll overlay a video from the crowd, because you can actually probably hear it a bit more, and then I'll overlay to the side as well the video from PCA, which is a bit more quality, so you can bit better quality, so you can kind of see both. So here you go.
Thank you, Sonny. And now number 28, Joshua Jenkins. Joshua.
So that was the routine. It was the exact same song. It's never going to fucking change, but I changed it a little bit to make it a bit more classic. Did I practice it much? A little bit more. Did I know what I was going to do? No. And it turned out pretty well. Yeah, and I was absolutely gassed. And then this is really nice actually. So as I'm waiting to go and do my routine, I've backtracked a little bit. Stephen, the Scottish dude, he at Wales told me after I did my routine, if you ever thought about doing classic, you should consider doing classic this year. And I was like, oh, I'll see, but that's what I want to do, so thank you. It's really nice to hear, and it's nice that you pulled me aside to say it. He recognised me, even with the moustache. He recognised me as I was waiting to go into my routine. He was like a few people obviously ahead of me, and he was like coming to chat to me. He was like, oh, how come you're doing classic? Like I was like, because I've got good feedback. People said I do classic, including yourself. So thank you, mate. Like it genuinely means a lot. So I had a bit of a nice chat with him. Obviously did the routine. Went back down, and I was like, I knew it went quite well, so I was quite happy. Then went back up for the pose down. The pose down was, again, just a bit of fun. And then they put us to the back. And I know I've been compared for top 3. You always want to win. You always want to win. I was already gassed, but I was like, you want to win. So they're calling people out. And I'm still like, my confidence is weirdly gone now. I don't think I'm top 3. And I'm like, just get a first call out. Just get a first call out. That'd be lovely. That'd be sick. I'll be happy with the first call out. Not a first call out, like a top 5. They call from top 8, from who got invited to finals. And they didn't say my name for 8th. They didn't say my name for 7th. They didn't say my name for 6th. I was like, okay, so you've held the middle, kind of. So you're probably in the top 5. Or you've not placed. I didn't know. And then I am waiting now. The only people I can see is Tom Taylor and his fiance Charlotte. They're the only 2 people I can see in the crowd, so I'm just staring at them saying, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. 5th, not me. 4th, not me. And I was like, shit, you've come top 3 in the biggest regional qualifier of the year in classic, or you've not placed. 3rd. And 3rd, I mentioned him on the Bodybuilding and Beanies podcast. So I'm not too sure if you're watching this, mate. Chris Coles came 3rd. Fucking ridiculous. He's so fucking good. He's nails. And he's fucking sound as well. Really nice guy. But yeah, I was like, fuck. I've either beaten him or I've not placed. But if I've beaten him, that's really good. But I was like, well, I was competing compared to him. So I was like, oh shit, I'm actually top 2. Fuck. Then I knew I was top 2 now. And I'm just staring dead into Tom's eyes like, oh my god. Then they called for 2nd. I was like, fuck. I've come 2nd in every single male category in 51 weeks time. Fuck. No. What the fuck? The dude who won, I don't know his name. I think it's Chris something. He's ridiculous. He's absolutely absurd, and he can hit a twist in the rear double bicep, which I can't. But he's phenomenal, like really good. He's just got that mature look to his physique, which, to be fair, Chris has as well. I'm gonna have that with obviously more time. But I was so fucking happy, man. So happy. So yeah, I can't really put into words. After deciding 6 days out to even do the show, and then 6 hours later to actually do classic, and being the 2nd youngest on stage is pretty wild. And to beat some dudes who are just really fucking good was ridiculous. I'm genuinely lost for words. Have got some stage photos from PCA. Depending when this actually goes up, I'm going to start editing it now. Well, today. I've got some that they posted. So there's a classic, kind of like most muscular with hands behind my back. There's then a side try. There's then a front lap, and I am I'm gassed, man. Really happy, really fucking happy. But if by the time I get the stage shots, I will put some up now. Hopefully. I know they come tomorrow, so today's Wednesday. So I think they're going to be getting to me tomorrow night, so it depends when I post this. I kind of want to get this up a bit earlier though. But no, I was genuinely gassed. And then first thing me and Tim chat about after I come off stage was he was like, mate, what the fuck, what a fucking result. And I genuinely, like, I was happy after PCA Wales. I was genuinely lost for words after this. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Because obviously anyone who knows me for at least like the last year or so, and even to be fair, when I was in prep last year, I wanted to be classic. That was what I was practicing, probably more posing of. Obviously men's physique maybe a bit more closer to shows, etc. But I was like, I wanted to be classic. I really liked the look, and I didn't know if I suited it. Because you never know until you're on stage next to people. But I was beating people who were bigger than me, who were older than me, who have more training experience, more PD experience, based on obviously me looking half decent, but also me having good shape for classic and suiting it. So yeah, that was quite cool. So Legel was like gassed, and then Tim just says, I reckon we just sack off junior bodybuilding. And I was like, I'll give it a few days. I'll give it like, say, 10 days. I can, with PCA, you can literally change it one day out. So I was going to give it until next week. I gave it till about 9 p.m. And then I changed to classic at PCA Hull. So that's the plan now. Basically, because again, like, it's one of those where it's like, I could go into a junior bodybuilding show and win it, potentially. And I'd be really happy because I'm winning a PCA show. That's essentially why I'm just only doing PCA shows this year now, because I want to win PCA shows. But then I also want to be in classic. And I clearly look classic. PCA clearly like my physique to a certain standpoint. Not enough to win. But why not just go for what you actually want? And if you don't get it, you're comparing yourself against people who are really good. So yeah, that's the plan. Just full sending classic now. I'm currently 11 days out from PCA Hull. And yeah, I've actually ordered my own classic trunks as well. So Jacob Randall, if you're watching this, thank you very much for letting me borrow your classic trunks. Only thought it was going to be the once, so obviously saved me some money. But in the long term, hasn't saved me any sort of money because I still need to buy them. And I have bought them. So they'll be coming, I think, Saturday. So the new trunks are on. Oh my God. But no, fucking gassed, man. What the fuck? What the fuck's this prep been? What the fuck's this year been? What a fucking mess. My life is a fucking mess. It's a good mess now, but it's still a fucking mess. So yeah, I'll leave it there. I might try and record another video. Like, I know how I built 21 pounds of tissue in like the last 10 months. That video's done quite well. So I might try and get another video like that sort of filmed. Maybe. We'll see. I'll try and think of some ideas. We'll go from there. So yeah, obviously if you've got any ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Feel free to message me on Instagram. Any likes, shares, subscribe, story tags, always greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you probably in the next week for another video. But if not, I'll try and do a wrap up of PCA Hull, which would be quite cool. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.